Well, it was Christopher Landau's interview with the Archbishop which caused such a stir, and Christopher is back on PM Tonight with, Christopher, international reaction.
Yes, although the Archbishop was talking to a British audience about British law, his status as leader of the worldwide Anglican Communion means his comments have been reported around the world. And of course the problem for him is that however much an initial interview conveys some of the complexity of his argument, the rest of the media reports as it wishes. And as a result, the Archbishop is facing pretty fierce condemnation. Earlier this afternoon, I spoke to a Nigerian Archbishop, Ben Kwashi, and he says that Rowan Williams has damaged his international reputation.
Our people here are in shock that an Anglican Archbishop is calling for Sharia law. If the Christians are the ones asking for Sharia law, now that will be used against us, who are saying we don't think Sharia law will help the cause of freedom and the cause of the gospel of Jesus Christ in northern Nigeria. So if he, the primate of England, is the one asking for it, now what he has done is to arm those who will now have more arguments against us, who are saying we don't need Sharia law.
And in your situation, you see the reality of what Sharia law can be?
We have experienced it, we know it, and in the last 9 years, full-blown Sharia law has been introduced in quite a number of states in northern Nigeria, at least 11. And what the churches are experiencing in these states is, to say the least, unbearable.
How surprised are you that a Christian Archbishop should have suggested in some circumstances that Sharia might be an appropriate part of the legal system in a country like Britain?
I am shocked. I am disappointed. I am in total disbelief, because my hope is that when he, Archbishop of Canterbury, comes to Nigeria, for example, and he comes to visit us, we will take him to our leaders, some of whom are Muslims and some of whom are Christians. And he can then speak on our behalf where we are not having a fair share. Can we now look up to him as a man who can speak on our behalf? You all know about the cutting of hands in Zamfara State, and you remember the case of the woman in Kaduna State who was going to be stoned to death. And all of those kinds of things are what we now are saying, that we must examine carefully the implementation of Sharia, and we are putting our discussions across with our own Muslim friends around here.
Now, of course, the Archbishop was very clear that he didn't want to see those sorts of inhuman punishments, he called them, implemented in Britain. Is there a danger that this argument is getting confused?
It is not confused at all, because once you ask for the first step of Sharia law, you're going to get to the last of it. I told you by 1960, when Nigeria got independence, it began as penal code. Now, once it came to this generation, they upgraded it to full-blown Sharia. So it's only a matter of time when you begin from somewhere before it becomes the real thing.
The Right Reverend Ben Kwashi.